Hi guys, this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to use HTML and CSS to create your website. All website uses HTML and CSS, but content management system, blogging software, and e-commerce platform often add few more technologies into the mix. So when you are looking at a website, it is mostly that your browser will be receiving HTML and CSS from the web server that hosts that particular site. The web browser interprets the HTML and the CSS code that it was used to create that particular site. Most web pages also include extra content such as images, audio. They also include video, some animation, right? So in this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to prepare all some of these images, videos to upload them in your website. Some sites also send JavaScript and Flash to the web browser. So you will see how to add JavaScript and Flash into your web pages. Both of these technologies are advanced topics that you can go on to learn more about once you get mastered with HTML and CSS. It's not something that you can accomplish them in just a day or a few days or months. It's something that you keep on improving yourself on them day after. Small websites are often written in just HTML and CSS, especially static website that you just talk about your company, your business, your home page, the about, the contact page, and maybe a few of the other information. Use these technologies, you will be able to use your new HTML and CSS knowledge to take more control over how your site looks. That is the advantage of learning this tutorial that I'm going to bring to you. Large or more complex sites like this may use a database to store data and programming languages such as PHP, ASP, and the rest of them. So, but you do not need to know all these other technology systems before you can build a website, but you can improve on them later on, right? The skill you will learn is very important when you are building your own website. Since the web was first created, there have been several versions of HTML and CSS, each intended to be an improvement on the previous version. Yes, each since the invention of HTML and CSS, there has been improvement on several versions. Though the more we are moving on in technologies, the more improved version will be coming up. So don't depend on the one you have learned today. Try to improve on yourself continually, day and night. Of the time we are talking about this tutorial, we are using HTML5 and CSS3, right? So anything we are talking about here is under the version of HTML5 and CSS3. How to start with your HTML coding. So we're going to start with understanding the structure, learning about makeup, tags, and elements. This is what we're going to talk about, particularly in this first series of creating your website with HTML.
So to start with, I'm going to open a new Notepad++ that I'm using as my text editor here. New. So like I say, we are dealing with the latest version of HTML, which is HTML5. So how do you start with HTML5 version for the web browser to understand the version you are using? So I'm going to start with, if I'm starting with HTML5, this is how we start with it. That's to tell the web browser that we are using HTML5. Start with doc type. So that's the title for this coding. But since we're just starting, I'm just going to end it there, that I end my header. We'll still come back to edit some of those things. We are just starting. I'm showing the beginning. This is header 1, which shows the hierarchy of all the heading in the page that I'm going to create. Header 1 will be the most hierarchy. So you see that each tag I'm beginning with a tag and ending it with a tag. For instance, I begin with HTML as a tag. I have not ended it. So that is header 1, header 2. This is header 2. I'm ending it with the ending tag. So this is the second paragraph under header 2. I end it. I'm going to end my body here so that I can continue with other illustration. I end the HTML. So we have just written the few code now. So I want to show you how to save this code now so that the web browser can actually understand what we are doing here and interpret it and project it when you search for it. So this is the code I've just done. I'll go to my file to click save. Now I told you earlier that you have to create a folder that you're going to use to save all the code for that particular website. So on my desktop, I've already created a folder called tutorial, and I've already have one file there, but I'm going to add this file inside this tutorial so that all the code will be contained in one place. So I'm going to call this, the file name of this code now, as Kings. Okay, let's say beginners coding. That is the file name. I'm going to save it, and you must save it with an extension .html. Without the extension HTML, the web browser will not understand that this particular, so you must end it with an extension .html. Then the save as type must be all types. If you save it with other file types here, you will not be able to edit it next time. So if I save it with all types, it will enable me, if I want to add or remove any code from my file, I'll be able to edit it back from my text editor. So I'm done with that. I've saved it, the file name as beginnerscoding.html, the save as type as all types. I click on my save. You see that immediately I save it as .html, it has changed. You see all the tags have changed to blue color. All these tags that change to blue color, they will not be displayed on your web browser when you open them, when you launch it on a web browser. It is only what is showing on black colors that will be displayed for you, and interpret the tags, the element, that the attribute that was before those words, except for the version of HTML that we're using, which is hide doc type here, will not also be displayed. This one is only to tell the web browser the particular HTML type that we are using. So now let's go and launch what we have done so far. So this is the file type I've saved on inside the folder. I double click on it. You see that it already changed to the icon of a Google Chrome web browser. So this is the code that we have done so far. This is the output on it on a web browser. You see that the heading 1 here is very bold, more than heading 2. That is to tell you that heading 1 is more hierarchy than heading 2, and each of the paragraph under it, this was the paragraph, this was a paragraph, and this was header 2 and header 1. This was the content of the body. So all this falls under the content on inside the tag body, and this inside the tag head 1, that's h1 and h2, and this one was paragraph, which was the tag p and tag p. You see that the hide doc type and other code, all the element that shows in blue color does not display here. Only what was in black colors that display here. Let's go back to what we have just done. So this is all this code here, all this code that we have just done here. This is the output. You see that it's not difficult. Coding is not difficult, depends on how you understand it and take it to be. So that is what we have just done so far. So let me talk about the title. The title here, you see that it did not display in the body of the body tag. Under the body tag, it does not displays here. Where you see the title of that particular web page, it is on the top of your web browser. For instance, look at it here. The tutorial on how to code was the title of our page, tutorial on how to code. So that's where it's going to. So anything that is inside this title tag is what is going to display on your tab on your web browser. So take note of that.
and CSS.